So maybe I'll hop right into it.
Yeah, go for
But
it.
speaking of like man caves and grill masters and stuff like that, I somehow a few months ago stumbled upon this channel where it's this guy and he like reviews old media, but like not that old, like 2000s media.
Hmm.
The one that he reviewed that I saw first was The Man Show, which you may remember. Jimmy Kimmel, Adam Carolla. What
Yeah,
was it? 99, 2000, 2001 that it came on the scene,
yeah.
something like that.
And at one point, wasn't it Joe Rogan? But did Joe Rogan come
Yeah,
first or
so
second? I can't remember.
second, it was Jimmy Kimmel and Adam Carolla. Then they kind of went off and did their own things, and it was Joe Rogan and was it Doug Stanhope or something like that?
That
Some other
sounds
comedian.
right.
Yeah, so I was a big like Comedy Central guy around that time. So I watched it. I didn't like love it though. But it was like, a show that was on for sure. But anyway, the thing that drew me to the channel was there's this guy, and if someone said, "Can you draw like the stereotypical modern millennial Zoomer male?"
Hmm.
they would draw this guy. He's got like a Jerry curl mullet thing with like a very bad wispy mustache, like, and then he has like a nose ring. And like the only thing that would make it better is if he had like an ironic pair of glasses or a scarf or something, but he just wears probably like streetwear and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, he's the guy and he hosts this show where apparently the theme is let's watch this old show and cringe about how it doesn't uphold the woke standards of today.
And he's like genuinely offended.
Yeah, and he's actually offended. So like I started watching it thinking it would be like kind of like an insightful critique, video essay on the Man Show or something.
Hmm.
And like maybe mock how like Jimmy Kimmel is now like this woke guy, but like he came from like, you know, putting squeeze toys in girls' boobs or something like that, like I don't
Yeah.
know. And so I thought it would be some kind of like insightful, look at this world that was the Man Show. But it was just him being like, "Ooh, they're pro men. That's gross, guys." And then he just like has a nose ring while he's saying it. And I was like, well, maybe like in the comments, everyone's got to be making fun of this weenie. Like he looks like an
Yeah.
idiot. So everyone's got to be making fun of him. But then it's all women in the comment section. And they're all like, oh my gosh, I didn't have any idea Jimmy Kimmel did this. So they're obviously like Zoomers watching this.
Yeah.
And they think this guy's like really cool because he's probably like 30 to 35 in that range.
Mm.
And he's like their elder statesman, like being like, did you guys know that Jimmy Kimmel used to be gross? And they're like, oh my gosh, I didn't know he was gross. So all the comments love this guy and they're all very offended by the Man Show. And I'm like, what is going on? Because it's not like the Man Show was like the epitome of traditional values at the time it came on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, back then it would have been offensive to maybe just more like Christians, or I mean, like conservative people who are just
Right.
like,
And
oh,
even like feminism was a thing 20 years ago. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, and but what I found interesting is apparently they're trying to claim that the Man Show was like some satirical look at the lowbrow man of the time.
mm.
And maybe that's true, but I didn't necessarily get that take from it.
Well, the actual Man Show is trying to claim that now, like saying,
Yes.
oh, we were self aware, we were making fun of excessive masculinity.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I don't think they were. I mean, I think I mean, Jimmy Kimmel or Corolla.
So we agree with the Jerry Curl mustache guy.
Yeah, we agree with him that that it was not that they knew what they were doing. Like they were definitely like poking fun at like the feminist who doesn't want like bikinis on TV
Well,
or
and
whatever.
maybe it was a little of both. Like it was over the top kind of, and campy
Hmm.
like intentionally. But it was still like this. It's still cool to be a guy.
Yeah. They went hard, and I think that was part of the joke. But it was also, but they weren't like apologizing for it or anything. They thought it
Hmm.
was. I
And
mean,
like
that's
when Jimmy Kimmel would put on blackface to be Carl Malone,
yeah.
somehow
Which
he got away with that.
yeah, yeah. How did? Oh, I don't know. How did he do that? How did he get away?
He's because he's on the right team right now.
Yeah, of
So,
course. Yeah. Uh,
um, yeah. But anyway,
oh, are you gonna? Can you name this guy? Should we start a
yeah.
beef?
Let's start a beef. This
Yeah,
guy is named. I have to look it up because it's such a dumb name.
like
Curtis with a K. Curtis Conner.
is the Connor also with a K?
No, it's with a C.
Okay.
Curtis Conner. And like, I mean, the thing about it is, I've watched a couple of his videos now because basically how I found him today is I was looking for the weekly Goblin video,
Yeah.
which should be linked, by the way, in the description below.
Yeah.
So I was looking for the weekly Goblin video, and he had reviewed some movie called Goblins or something. And so I was like, oh, here's this guy again. I wonder what he thinks about goblins. He doesn't believe they're real. Um, so take
Well,
that for what it's worth.
Curtis Connors or Kurt Connor, whatever your name is, we are calling you out.
Yeah, we're
Um,
calling you out, Curtis, with your stupid
yeah.
hair and your stupid nose ring. Any man who has a nose ring is immediately suspect.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so he has other shows. I sent you a couple, but like one of them is Room Raiders was MTV's grossest dating show. I haven't watched it, but he'll probably be like, and they had the parents pick who the girl would date. Can you believe that? Or something like that. Or that
Yeah.
was a different one, I think. But Room Raiders was where you got to pick the person by their room.
Yeah. I'm guessing Room Raiders. I mean, I don't remember that show really. I vaguely, but I'm guessing like a guy would like, go through the drawers and find the underwear or whatever. And
Yeah, and he's
that's,
probably like, "Can you believe they would do this without consent?"
yeah. Which,
And nobody even had a nose ring in these except the women.
well, uh, 90s fashion. I'll actually get into that a little later,
It's
but
not even 90s though. It's
oh,
or
it's like early
he's
2000s
doing or
no, I
yeah,
just mean
Room
like
Raiders
Room
was like
Raiders.
early 2000s, like
Okay. Yeah.
mid.
Yeah. Room Raiders was mid. Um,
Um,
okay.
and then he
So,
also yeah, it's called The Man Show did not age well. And like like some of the comments are like, I was never a fan of Jimmy Kimmel, and finding out he wrote a show like this does not surprise me at all.
yeah, that's a funny thing. I mean, I think as recently as like 2 years ago, I heard Corolla. So Corolla's gone pretty like
Right.
openly right wing kind of, like hangs out with Dennis Prager and stuff,
Hmm.
and he hates Governor Newsom. Um, but
I wonder if Adam Carolla is religious.
no, I don't think he is.
Okay.
I think he's like talked about that, but he as recently as like 2 years ago, I think when, or maybe it was more, but somewhat recently when Kimmel was hosting the Oscars, Corolla said something like Jimmy had hired him to be on the Oscars writing team. So like somewhat recently, they're still buddies. They're still working together, even though like the public facing like
Hmm.
politics are very much different.
Yeah, yeah. And then the other thing that's interesting about this is Zoomers like didn't watch TV like in their first 10 years of life, I guess.
Yeah.
And so like they didn't know about like any of these shows like Spike TV and all that stuff. And so there's also this subset of like YouTube genre that is like people like millennials or Zoomers explaining like older TV shows to Zoomers. So I saw it also with because I was tricked into buying Paramount Plus.